Hey guys, this is a presentation of the Buck 110 50th Anniversary Folding Hunter Knife. I bought this knife as a gift for somebody. These days, this is not really my kind of folder, even though this right here was the first folder I ever had. My dad bought this for me 20 years ago. We were at a flea market. He met a friend who had a friend who made folders, and I guess what made me choose this knife was the dark colored handle scales. You can see this knife was probably modeled after some Buck model. And I did use it for a long period of time. After which this back spring broke and I had that replaced, but it was never the same. So I stopped using it and I thought I lost it. A few months ago, my dad gave this one to me back and I was really happy. It's not a knife that I'm going to use in the future, but it's a nice part of my past. Enough about this one. Let's talk about the Buck 110. This is a classic, no doubt, and that's why I bought it as a gift for somebody. For the price you pay for this, in the States it's much less, in Europe it's a bit more. I would say you get a very decent knife. Some people might not like the design. I do. I, however, prefer more, well, let's not say tactical, let's say practical folder. I like a pocket clip, and I like a draw point. And also, I would like a wider handle. Although, this one being as narrow as it is pretty thick. And I think that's more comfortable than a wide handle that is thin. But that's just me. I haven't tested it to see. This one doesn't really compare as it is a bit thinner. Now, about the handle. Very nice polish on the brass. I guess this is brass. Very nice polish on the wood. Very nice pattern on the wood. I don't have any complaints. For the price you pay, I think fit and finish for the handle of the folder is very, very good. Of course, some people, maybe collectors and people who like this type of folders, who own more than one, will disagree. But I think it's pretty good. The locking mechanism, I like it. I do like the positioning of the lock back where you disengage it, because once the knife is open, I don't think you will close this by accident, which is very good. Closing this one, I would recommend two hands, even though it does not snap down like a Victorinox. Not as hard, but it does snap. This part here is where the spring is not that strong, it's a bit loose. However, it could snap on you, so I do recommend two-hand closing with such a knife. But it is very smooth. Doesn't really take a lot of effort to close this knife with two hands. And opening it is very smooth. I've heard people say that they can be scratchy or gritty. I don't have that problem with this one. A very smooth opener, and when it locks in, feels very safe in the hand, especially if you hold it tight, as you would do working with it. I feel that like a very positive lock. Feels good in the hand as well. The blade, it has a stamp here. I heard there are more models, and I guess 3 models of this Anniversary folder, and with 3 models of stamps. I don't know. A clip point design with a very sharp swedge. very sharp. This one also has a switch, but it's rounded. Here, the two bevels actually meet. It doesn't cut you if you just do this, but I wouldn't be surprised if you would push really hard and pull, you could get a cut on your finger, which surprised me. I guess it's very good for piercing. And you have a hollow ground with a nice V-edge. I stropped it just a bit and tested it on paper. It cuts paper very clean, and it also shaves. Even though this is the original grind, you can still see the lines. It is very sharp, which is nice. I don't really like this thumbnail notch. I think it's a bit too big, and I don't really think you need it. You can just open the blade like this, not even using the notch. It's very smooth. As such, it doesn't really bother me, and it might come in very handy. Now, one thing that does worry me is the tip. It is very thin, very, very thin, and very pointy. And especially if you're going to use this knife as a hunting knife, which is probably going to be used as a hunting knife, it might snap off. You hit bone, you might lose the tip. That's why I prefer a draw point myself. However, if it won't be used as a hunting knife, I don't think it's going to lose its tip very quickly. That's it about the knife. I really think this is a beautiful folder, and well, depending on how much you pay for it, I think it's worth it. I paid a little bit more than you would pay in the States, but I thought of it as a gift, not as a knife for me, and I think it's a very, very nice knife. Now, about the pouch, I have seen these knives come with nylon pouches, and nylon can be very practical. However, leather is more personal. That's just my opinion. If you have a leather sheath for a knife or for a multi-tool or whatever, it's going to show the wear and tear more than nylon. And if you take care of leather, it's going to show that. It molds after the tool, and it molds after the user. I think leather is more personal, and this one is decent quality. The knife fits inside very neatly, very nice. Doesn't take a lot of force to get it, even though this leather sheath is not broken in. There you go, and the snap is very, very nice. You can feel this knife in there, very safe. It doesn't wiggle around, and opening it does take a bit of effort, which I think is good. So this was the Buck 110 50th anniversary folding hunter knife. I hope you enjoyed this small presentation. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I wish you all a great day.